Start up the Enviro Solutions automatic UF. Two switches on the front, the touch screen. On-off switch. Turn the power on. The PLC will boot up. You get the operation screen. First screen, the home screen. You can select, you have the choice of selecting either manual operation or automatic operation. Button right here alternates between manual and automatic. In manual, you'll control everything by push buttons, turning on, turning off. In this instance, process, push the process button. Process light comes on. You press the system monitor screen. This will tell you what the unit's doing. This gives you the recirculation flow on the main recirculation pump. The pressure, back pressure on the membrane, permeate flow. Also the levels, liquid level in each of the two tanks. The one tank is the cleaning tank, holds a cleaning solution. The other tank is the process tank. That's what we're actually pulling the fluid from to run through the membrane. Process off. Here's a valve for flushing the membrane. After we turn it off for the day or before we go through a cleaning process, you want to hit the flush membrane. This opens this solenoid up, and basically it just displaces any dirty water that's inside the membrane. It's adjustable. It's set for about 3 seconds. The membrane flush comes on. This little light will come on. So if something is red, it's turned off. If something is green, it's turned on. Cleaning. There are 3 valves that they'll need to turn into a separate orientation before the system will turn on. Here we're in cleaning mode. Have the option of adjusting the amount of time it flushes when you press the flush button, which is up here. This is in tenths of a second. And also the clean cycle timer. 30 minutes is about normal. If it's a really badly clogged membrane, we go 45 minutes or an hour. If it's just light soiling, we can go down to, say, 15 minutes. So that's how you'll adjust the time right there. Get back to the start-stop screen here. Clean off. Now, it has the option for running it in automatic mode. In this, it'll go into cleaning cycle automatically based on the number of gallons of permeate that are processed. It will also dump or purge the process tank. As the unit's running, this recirculation tank becomes more and more concentrated with oils and greases. Okay? Basically, anything that doesn't go through the membrane stays back in this tank. Well, as you run it over time, it becomes more concentrated, the permeate level will start to drop. At some point, we need to get rid of it. We normally have set it about 20% of the original volume of solution. If you're holding off 10 drums of material at a time, you'll haul off 2 drums. Basically, we'll take the 8 drums, the 80%. That's clean enough to go in a sewer in most cases. And then the other 20% will have to be placed elsewhere for disposal. That's basically how the UF works. We'll put it into automatic here. Once it's in automatic, none of this stuff here will work. The only thing you can do is turn it on. Okay. In automatic, it's it's going to count the number of gallons of permeate that's produced. Based on that, when it reaches 15 gallons, it'll go into an automatic cleaning cycle. This number here, we can change up and down. It depends how dirty the material is. If it's very clean material, we can go up to 100 gallons or a lot, or even more. In this case, we're running around 15 gallons because the processed water is dirty and also the membrane is pretty dirty. Purge cycle. Again, when this tank becomes concentrated, we want to get rid of it. So what we're saying is, after it's run 500 gallons of permeate, it's time to dump this tank. The machine will do it automatically. As we're processing, as we're pulling water out of this process, this recirculation tank, the level's going to drop. We need to keep adding more processed fluid to it. This is done automatically. We have ultrasonic sensors in both tanks. We maintain levels and we do different actions based on the levels. In this case, we want it to not go below 20 inches when we're processing. You can see here the level, 20, 23, 24. As the unit, shake the unit around, it'll vary. What this says is, it's going to go down to 20 inches, actually 19 inches. It'll turn a pump that's on down here to fill the unit back up. It'll pump back up to 22 inches. So it constantly keeps that level between 20 inches and 22 inches. It'll do that continuously until it calls to purge the process. So 500 gallons of permeate, and this reaches 500 gallons, it will let this unit come down. It'll get down to 20 inches and it will keep going. It will keep going until the tank level gets down to 18 inches. At that point, there's a pump that's in this tank that will pump out the concentrate until we get to a level 10 inches. It always leaves a little bit in the bottom of the tank, so the pumps will always have fluid to restart. Once it's pumped everything out, whether it's an automatic or manual, the unit will shut down. If it's an automatic, after a certain amount of time, it'll start back up and just keep processing. It'll just run continuously. These numbers here, in most instances, we put a security code in it. You can't adjust those numbers unless you have the code. That's just because if these numbers were flipped around, the unit would stop working. Numbers like the pressure numbers, you can change these. In order for the unit to protect the membrane, to protect the pump, we base it on pressures. We don't want the pressure going too low, which means it's pumping air, it's run out. We don't want it going too high, which means that we have a filter that's clogged or a membrane that's clogged. So we've got set points in here. Minimum set point is 5. When we start the unit up, the circuitry inside will allow it to run for a few seconds until the pressure comes up. Once it reaches 5, then it's automatic. It'll stay on. So if the pressure is between 5 and 50, it'll run. If it goes over 50, it'll turn off. If the tank runs dry, the pressure up to 5, it will turn off. These you can adjust. These are adjustable. You can go 6, enter, or you can use these thumbs. Circulation flow, Again, these are set for alarms, conditions. Reset them here and basically leave them alone. Permeate flows. Again, we have cutouts. If the permeate goes too high, it could indicate a blown membrane. It'll shut the unit down. If the permeate goes too low, it could also shut it off. Counters, these counters can't be changed. It's reading, since we've reset it, 591 gallons. Running would be 10,000. Reset gallons, this is a way that you can monitor how many gallons you've processed in a day. It's resettable. This pump here is the pump out for purging the tank. In automatic, it runs automatically. If you want to manually dump the tank out, you basically go to manual. Touch the icon, green box comes up, and it's actually pumping the tank out. You can see the level here dropping. So it will run down. You have to hold your finger on the button. It'll run down to the minimum level that we have set and then turn off. So you can run it either. In this case it's manual. You'll just run it at the end of the shift, come in, turn it off, hit clean. It'll clean for whatever time is set up in the timer, and then turns off. So you can just hit clean, go home. It'll clean itself, it'll be ready to process the next day.